During this film, you will need to take down readings from the screen. This exercise bicycle can be pedalled at different rates to simulate a range of road speeds. The amount of work the cyclist has to do can also be varied using a spring-loaded roller which presses against the front tyre. It's set using that knob. We shall keep it at a constant load setting throughout our experiments. The cyclist's chest is cleaned using surgical spirit. Then electrodes are attached. There are 3 electrodes in all. As he uses the bicycle, impulses from the electrodes can be carried to amplifying and recording equipment. At the moment, he's resting. The trace on the right shows his heartbeats. The heart rate can be read off from a meter. Note down this reading using the top scale. Notes in the experiment booklet tell you how to convert the reading into heartbeats per minute afterwards. Use the top scale. An ultrasonic detector enables us to hear the pulse rate in his brachial artery, corresponding to his heart rate. Listen. His blood pressure can be measured using a sphygmomanometer. This microphone inside the cuff will be pressed firmly against the mark we've made on his arm, just over his brachial artery. Now get ready to write down a blood pressure reading. We pump up the cuff. Then we release the air and note at what reading the instrument starts to flash and bleep. There it is, about 120. His systolic blood pressure when he's resting, 120. We're also going to record certain parameters relating to his respiratory performance. He'll breathe in and out through this tube in his mouth, a clip's put on his nose to close his nostrils. When he breathes out, this little fan revolves, interrupting a light beam inside the instrument and thereby modifying an electrical signal sent to the recorder. The trace on the left now records his breathing. As he exhales, the pen moves to the left. As he inhales, the pen remains stationary, so we get this series of steps. When 5 litres of air have passed through his lungs, the pen flicks back and continues recording a new series of steps. So this is the pattern we get. Breathing in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and so on. This distance represents 5 litres of air, and there's more of his breathing. Once again, we're using meters from which to take down actual readings. A first meter shows his breathing rate. Use the bottom scale and later convert this reading into breaths per minute using the booklet notes again. This is breathing at rest, remember. There's another meter recording tidal volume, the volume of air passing into or out of his lungs at each breath. Read the bottom scale again, and again convert your reading into the actual tidal volume afterwards. The booklet tells you what to do. Now he's going to exercise for 5 minutes. See the change in the pattern of his breathing as he starts to pedal? He'll pedal for 5 minutes at 10 kilometers per hour. Write down this speed. After 2.5 minutes, listen to his pulse and look at his breathing pattern. He's taking deeper breaths than when he was at rest. Coming up to 5 minutes. Get ready to write down his systolic blood pressure. There it is, about 144 or 145. Write it down. Now his heart rate. The top scale again. Respiratory rate. The bottom scale this time. And the tidal volume, bottom scale again. Later, you'll convert the dial readings into the parameters you need. After he's rested for 15 minutes, he starts up again. This time at 15 kilometers per hour. 15. We maintain the same loading on the front tyre. And after 2.5 minutes, his heart rate's faster and he's breathing more deeply and more rapidly. After 5 minutes, as before, blood pressure, now the heart rate, and this time read the bottom scale. Respiratory rate, also the bottom scale. And the tidal volume, bottom scale. After another 15 minutes rest, he starts again. 20 kilometers per hour. 20.